to Zero Cool Gaming and today's TV show review. Today we're going to be talking about a show called Moonlighting. Now, Moonlighting came out in like 1985. It ran for 5 seasons. It ran for quite a long time, actually. And it was a fantasy. Fantasy in many ways. It was meant to be kind of an action-adventure detective story. Centered around these two relationship in that respect. Let me explain to you what I think the fantasy and the lie is here, because what it tried to present when compared to the reality of the world around us shows that this is literally a fantasy. And I'll explain what I mean by that. So, Moonlighting is about a detective agency run by this woman, and the detective is her employee. And truly, it's a very long romance story about finding love in your 30s and 40s. That's not, anyway. What this show tries to present is that a woman who spent her 20s doing whatever she wanted can then spend her 30s finding a man that she would be attractive to. The reality is that that's a lie. Because truly, when it comes to the 10% of men that women are sleeping with today, that 10% ranges in value. And what I mean by that is just because a man isn't making a lot of money doesn't mean that a woman won't sleep with him. If he's good looking, they will. And the top 10% of men are very well aware of this fact. So truly it doesn't matter if they're, completely broke or making millions of dollars. That 10% is never going to commit to any of them. And this show tried to present the lie that a high-value woman could attract and get what she would consider a low-value man to commit to her. While that in itself is true, what this show tried to present is not. That's why I call it a fantasy. That's why I call it a lie, really. It's cute, truly, in that respect, that women think that they could, somehow, as they move up the social economic ladder, that men of lesser standing than them will just automatically find them more attractive. That's not how men think. It's never been how men think, and I don't think it'll ever be how men think, truly. And there are many reasons for that. But, yeah, just because a woman is of means and makes money in no way affects how a man is going to assess her value to him. Truly. Um, but this show tried to present, like I said, the fantasy that, a high value woman could attract a good looking, quote unquote, low value man and get him to commit. Yeah. The reality of the world, as we look around it today, says otherwise. But, um, truth hurts. And it's painful for some people. This I found kind of interesting. There is a score for critics, but no score at all for the audience. Very odd. Um, Interesting, to say the least, but odd as well. And there's kind of a reason for this, and I'm going to show you what that reason is right now. If you remember with Cannonball Run, I said that there was a show that wasn't being streamed. It doesn't mean that you couldn't watch it or that there weren't places in other countries that you could find it. Heck, I think you could even find it on YouTube. But truly, what you could find on the net wasn't quote unquote legal. It wasn't part of the streaming ecosystem that they're trying to create. I really don't like what they've done here. I mean, it was bad enough when you had like cable TV, and I know there's still cable TV today, don't get me wrong. But when cable TV first came out, it was like the answer to satellite. And when satellite came out, it was the answer to what was pay-per-view, essentially. And all that stuff still exists today, I know that. Don't get me wrong. But I guess what I'm saying is, this is a long tangent that I could go off on. Back to the Moonlighting show. It isn't being streamed anywhere. And they always have an excuse for that. No matter what the excuse is, there's always an excuse. I could truly care less what the excuse is. It's the end result that I care more about. And the end result is this is another show that the younger generation will probably never see. Why? Because somebody deemed it so. Of course, today you can still buy like the physical DVDs of this show. You can get all the seasons of it, all 5 seasons. And I found a couple of places online where you can stream some of the episodes, not all of them. It's odd why it's like that. But again, they're not here in the United States at all. And it's probably not quote unquote legal for them to be doing that. And it's not just me saying that these things aren't streamable. I mean, this is The Wrap, which is a pretty large publication. Over here we got Entertainment Weekly, and they're saying the same thing. They give the same BS and a whole bunch of reasons as to why they feel that this is a thing, and blah blah blah, and other shows that are stuck in the same limbo slash corporate mess that this show's caught in. Even if it wasn't caught in this made up junk that they say gives them an excuse to essentially censor another show, even if there was no reason, they would just simply do it, just like they did with the Cannonball Run. Even if they They'll make up a reason, is what I'm getting at. Oh well, we can't do that because it's just too offensive for American audiences, and we don't want to lose revenue because we're putting offensive material on our site, and people don't like that. Right. While you stream offensive material that people are leaving your site by the literal millions because of. But yeah, let's blame it on that because that makes sense to these people. We won't stream this because we think we'll lose millions, but we'll stream this even though we're losing millions. It's doublespeak. It's rhetorical. They don't mean what they're saying. They could care less. They've got an agenda to push. They've got a way in which they want the general public to think, and anything that is outside of that offends them to the point that they will censor it out of existence, like they're doing with Moonlighting. Now, why are they censoring Moonlighting out of existence? Well, it's one of those shows that actually teach people to think for themselves. I know, crazy thought, but they seem to really hate this whole concept that people can have independent thought, you know, separate from the corporate machine and entertainment media and their message that they want you to believe wholeheartedly. And, you know, God help you if you don't, because they will come after you. But don't worry, it's because they're so inclusive and they want unity. That's why they go after people and try to destroy their lives who don't agree with their beliefs. Makes total sense in the clown world we live in. But yeah, Moonlighting, it's a good show. Truly, I enjoyed it. I liked the interactions between the main characters. And how they would deliberately do things to each other to upset each other. I mean, that's not what I would call in any way, shape, or form a healthy relationship, but it certainly makes for good content. So anyway, that's my rant for the day, and I hope you enjoy the rest of yours.